We are in live. Good afternoon, everyone. So today we are having a very important discussion meet on different contemporary topics, basically 3 contemporary topics on India's digital transformation, complexities in the contracting process, and the last one is application of data analytics in cost audit. Today's discussion meet is being organized by members in Industry and Placement Committee of the Institute of Cost Accountants of India. So we are privileged to have today with us eminent speakers and eminent guests with us. So may I now request our immediate past president of the Institute, CMA Raju Iyer sir, to come on the dais. Sir, please. I now request CMA Devashish Mitra, Chairman, Board of Advanced Studies and Research, and members in Industry and Placement Committee of the Institute to come on the dais, please. I may now request CMA L. Prakashji, please come on the dais. He is the Head Supply Chain Management, Reliance Industries Limited. May I now request CMA Chitrali Goswami, Chief General Manager of ONGC. Madam will be joining. And we are having with us our another important speaker today, Dr. Saurabh Maheshwari. I request you to come on the dais. He's an industry expert in data analytics. So now,
the guru of data analytics.
I would now like to lighting the lamp to inaugurate the session. I request all the eminent dignitaries and speakers, and requesting our IT team to play our institute anthem.
असतो मा सद्गमया तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमया मृत्योर्मामृतं गमया मा सद्गमया तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमया मृत्योर्मामृतं गमया असतो मा सद्गमया तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमया मृत्योर्मामृतं गमया ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्ति.
Thank you. So I again requesting all the guests and dignitaries to take their seat on the dais. So today's hybrid session we are conducting at IMC Chamber of Commerce and Industry, Churchgate, Mumbai. So it is simultaneously in physical mode as well as in online mode. So first of all, I will request Chairman of Members in Industry and Placement Committee, CMA Devashish Mitra ji, to give his welcome address to the audience.
Good afternoon. Shuja, whether I am audible? On behalf of Members in Industry and Placement Committee, of the Institute of Cost Accountants of India. I welcome you all for this today's seminar on hybrid mode. First of all, I welcome our immediate past president, CMAP Raju Iyer. I also welcome our first speaker, Dr. Shoudab Maheshwari, industry expert in data analytics. And very frankly, Shoudab is also a regular faculty of DISA, that is Diploma in Information System Security Audit of the Board of Advanced Studies and Research, the course they have launched. I also welcome CMA Chitrali Goswami, Chief General Manager, ONGC. I also welcome CMA L. Prakash, Head Supply Chain Management, Reliance Industries Limited, and one of the most important pillar of Navi Mumbai chapter of Cost Accountancy. The data analytics, I should not say anything about the data analytics because today's era or today's finance professionals are going through a peculiar, it's a different phase is going on actually. Now the people are telling that whether what will be the future of the finance professional. Some bodies are telling that only the data analytics is the main era of the finance professional within a couple of years. So what will be the era? What will be the industry? What will be the industry requirement? What is the expectations of the finance professional? I feel that we will listen all the things from our learned speaker. So without taking much time, I will request our guest of honor today, CMA L. Prakash, to say something so that our members and students can be enlightened from your views because you are from the industry. So what is the expectation from the industry? What you are thinking? Where the data analytics will come and what is the expectation of the industry from the finance professionals? I feel that you are the right person to discuss.
Thank you, Debashji, and good afternoon, all of you. Respected our immediate past president, Raju Iyer sir, respected CMA Chitrali ma'am, Chief Manager ONGC, and the great enabler of our institute at various occasions, taking our students to greater heights, either in the form of the counseling or the onboarding, or continuously guiding our institute in multiple forums. And Dr. Saurav Maheshwari, I had an opportunity to attend the information system audit programs, but today I had an opportunity to interact with him for a long time since morning and really learn from you a lot. And Indian ethics and ethos will definitely be sustained through talents like you in the days to come. And our respects to Dr. Devasan Nandi, who enabled us multiple programs last few years and taken our institute to greater heights through the Board of Advanced Studies and also the members in Industry and Placement Committee. Our institute, particularly last few years under the Board of Advanced Studies through the chairman, Mr. Debashish, CMA Debashish Mitra, and the respective council and the president's support. Excellent work done by our institute on various emerging areas which industry really need today. One is the data analytics program, organized and chartered by our institute. More than 500 members qualified in this program. That means that much of the knowledge being offered to Indian industry through our institute. Industry will grow to greater heights. Ours is a non-profit motive organization. This institute only enabling the Indian economy, India to go to on greater heights to meet the global goals set by our respective prime ministers now and in the past. Multiple programs was launched by Board of Advanced Studies. We would like to thank our chairman of Board of Advanced Studies and also the chairman, members and the placement committee CMA Debashish Mitra, taking out so much of energy, bring the best talents, best experts to the table. We met so many experts from the Indian industry into our webinars, into our forum. May not be CMAs, but the global talent sitting in India, the experts sitting in India, we all learned. I learned. I was a student of the DSA program. So we learned a lot, and definitely it will support. Without taking much time, just moving on the support provided with WRC team on each and every aspect, definitely credible and always supporting us in various forums, decade after decade. And the chapters and our regional council member, Mr. Arindam Goswami, supporting us, thanking for all the way, coming and inspiring our students, us, and being with us today. So moving on the programs today is excellent. In the industry perspective today, what we need is, when I go for hiring a team or when we are going for hiring a talent, we look at the analytic skills, whether the students is possessing analytical skills. It's very, very important. Today, globally, organizations are moving towards the digital mode. So nothing should be manual. No, in fact, we are saying that we need to move on the e-offices. So today, organizations are conducting digital mode most of the transactions. Banks we have seen, and we are also saying that nature to be sustained through the carbon footprint program. So that means that we should stop the manual methods of doing, including the large volumes of the printings, etc. So digital transformation is moving our organization to next level of the escalation. So through digital transformation, organizations get benefit. The CMAs can add a lot of value there. Our speaker, our learned speaker, will be discussing on the same. So I will move on to the next topic on the data analytics. Excellent program, which we'll learn from them today, how it's going to be helpful to you, how the industry need the importance of data analytics, and the contracting process. Contracting process by the Chitrali ma'am. It's very important to sustain the organization, to put the controls in place, also to ensure that the real reasons are always taken precedence for the growth of the organization. Just to spend on a minute or so before I hand over the stage to my immediate speakers, we would like to thank our president of the institute, CMA Vijayendra Sharma, vice president of the institute, CMA Rakesh Balla, in the absence here, both of them, and also all the central council members who are on the Teams call and Google Meet. So data is a new oil today. Why data is a new oil? Like, I'm from a refinery business, petroleum industry. Last 20 years, I've been handling multiple strategies for the group. Like a crude oil, if you take a crude oil, you cannot fuel it for the aircraft, or you cannot even take it to a two-wheeler. It has to be refined. So data is a new oil. British mathematicians said, multiple people said, data is a new oil in today's regime. That means what? Oil cannot be consumed as it is. It has to be refined. It has to be taken to various stages. Then it will yield the result. Similarly, data today is very important than your accounting. Today, we speak about dashboards, KPIs, analytics. The rest and all system takes care. If you feel that I'll go and join the company and do a GL posting, no, we don't need. GL will be done by the system on its own. We need the CMA, the young professional or the experienced professional, to show us the way to. Somebody was asking me, sir, how I can add value in the marketing business. In the last WRC National Convention, when I came, he was sitting with me, he was asked, sir, what is the benefit I can add to the marketing team? Marketing ka mere ko aata nahi. I said, marketing may you will add, because marketing department will come to you as a financial controller for approval. Sir, we are going to conduct a promotion program. So immediately your question, you will say, mere ko data do, what is the today's status of, if you don't do the promotion program, what is your sales? Or jo bhi hai, sales hai, customers hai, anything. Post implementing this promotion, what is the increase in number by 6 months or 1 year, whatever. So pre and post promotion, effectiveness is seen by CMA through the analytics. You cannot download Excel file and compute. You have to see मेरे पहले customer satisfaction 10% था, अभी 12%, measured by some credible marketing agency, etc. So that is how the data is very, very important. I request our okay. So I will, there's a lot more to learn, and once again, grateful to Institute for organizing the program, because as a student, if you're sitting that side, maybe I could have not realized 30 years before, 32 years before when we are all students. But today, the kind of programs conducted by our institutes, globally phenomenal, one of the institute taken to the greater heights, and would like to request our immediate past president, Raju Iyer sir, to guide us with his rich experience and enable us with your thoughts to move to next stage. Thank you. Thank you, all of you. I'm available through Navi Mumbai chapter, through our WRC, through our institute anytime. We are with you, and every CMA of my institute will be taken to greater heights. Thank you.
Thank you, L. Prakash ji. Now I request CMAP Raju Iyer to deliver his views, thoughts, wisdom for the members and students.
Thank you, CMA Debashish Mitra ji, respected Chairman of Members in Industry and Replacement Committee, CMA Debashish Mitra ji, who is contributing a lot, who was conducting a lot of programs and certificate courses for the students and the members who will be able to upgrade and update what is happening in the world, and so that we'll be able to progress well. Respected L. Prakash, who is a guest of honor and who has just addressed our members. And the respected Saurav Maheshwari, who is an industry expert and who has conducted various programs and motivating the students and the youngsters in mind. Madam CMA Chitra Goswami, who is the Chief General Manager of ONGC, and we had our excellent Secretary DP Nandiji, who is reaching the students and reaching the youth in a very good way, and where the placement for the students for the last 2 years has been done in thousands, and where the industry is able to recruit people, and because of his talent and his approach, we are able to get excellent salary. As you know that last time some of the students have got 28 lakhs salary for all freshers. It is not a easy thing. 28 lakhs is not a small amount. Same way, more than thousands of students have been placed in various corporates and various organizations with our team. And our regional council member, WRC, Arindam Goswami is there, and who is a young and dynamic member who is contributing a lot and reaching the youth and the students. In today's environment, updating the knowledge and what is happening is more important than what has happened. Today, we all know that what all the events are taking place in the world. Of course, Russia-Ukraine war has become old. And today, bank has collapsed in US. See how it is happening. And because it has informations are not there and data is not analyzed properly. If they were able to analyze the data, what is their deposit pattern and how the deposits are able to, people are withdrawing their deposits and what is the quantum, if they are able to analyze properly, then this would not have happened. They will be able to take proper steps. So how you are able to get the information, managing the information, how you are getting it, that is more important. Today, as a cost and management accountant, we are in a better position because we are having the knowledge, we are having all the required study and everything, so that we are able to advise the corporates in a strategic way where they are able to perform better and have a sustainable growth. Sustainable growth and sustainability is more important today than what has in the past. So for that, you should know what is happening and how you are able to get the information, how we are going to analyze. We are having experts, as we all have been known, Dr. Saurav Maheshwari and Madam Chitrali Goswami, who will be able to give you a lot of input, a lot of information, how we have to move forward and what is available. Today, we had a committee meeting of members in Industry and Placement Committee also, where they have discussed and analyzed various aspects with their input. So we will be able to reach more corporates, more industries in the coming days, and we will be able to have the excellent opportunity for our members and professional growth. And especially, we are having a very good relation with the ministry also. The ministry is also happy with us, and we are coming with a lot of guidance note and lot of technical support to our members and students. So another important very aspect is social organization has come, and we are starting the course on social organization also. So where we'll be able to get lot of opportunity in social audit also. So it's a great event, and we have entered into MOU with the IGNOU University, where we are going to start the course on agriculture cost management in agriculture. So which will be providing the opportunity for how to promote the multiply the income of the farmers and agriculturists and the FAOs, so that it will be giving opportunity to reach the rural area also. We have started a course with Ramachandra Medical University, where the certificate course in healthcare management, where the already second batch is being run, and we have to reach to more number of people, so that healthcare industry also will be taken care by the cost and management accountants. So these are all the scope and opportunities provided to our members, where we will have a lot of opportunity. Wishing everyone happy, healthy, and prosperous days. All the best. Thank you for the opportunity. Good day.
Thank you, sir. I request Pooja Madam to welcome all the dignitaries through flower bouquet.
Thank you very much.
So now we'll move towards the technical session 1. So our first session, technical session, is on India's digital transformation, opportunities and role of CMS. And the keynote speaker for this session is Dr. Saurabh Maheshwari. Already Devashish sir has told that he is our regular faculty for Diploma in Information System Security Audit, and is very much popular among our experienced CMAs. He is basically an educational strategist, an international trainer, national awardee, author and poet also, career and startup mentor, life coach, IS auditor, data analyst, political and Vedic researcher, and whatnot. He is a BE, MTech, MBA, PhD, and CISSP, and many things also. So I request him to give an overview of this digital transformation movement in India, and aware our all the CMS and would-be CMS, budding CMS, to enlighten them about this digital transformation process. Please.
Okay, good afternoon to you all. And it was indeed a great pleasure to get associated with such a big statutory body under the Act of Parliament. All thanks to Nandi sir, he discovered me. I know from where, but we got connected. and that's how I'm here in front of you all. Very much thankful to the entire dice, and I think I'm the youngest one sitting out here with these all eminent personalities who have proven themselves in the entire journey of their career, and still they are enlightening you all. In morning sessions, I got a lot of input from ma'am and sir, and in a manner that how these kind of bigger bodies and organizations needs to work, and what exactly is required for professional to grow. So I think they themselves, which I have said during the lunch hour as well. So every professional sitting out here, apart from me, is a book itself. You can read them, and while reading them, you can get whatever you feel like. A professional. Sure, sir. Let me slightly readjust it. Better, sir.
This is the way you have properly analyzed your podium.
See, analysis is everywhere. You analyze your career, then you analyze your profession, you analyze your life, you analyze your family, and then you act accordingly. Am I right? Or am I right? Yes, I am right. Okay. So when you are analyzing everything, why not analyzing the way India is transforming? See, we all are aware of the fact that technology is here to stay, right? And there are multiple ways in which technology is touching our life. And from last around a decade or so, I think every corner of your body or your life or your entire journey in the 24 hours of a day is being touched by technology almost 50% of the time. Am I right again? So when technology is so much involved in our life, why the technology is itself treated as of now also as an alien subject for financial professionals? Right? As soon as the technology comes into your course curriculum, syllabus, surroundings and all, you accept it as you want to. But when technology comes up into your course curriculum as a part of your subject, you feel like, why us? Fine, it has to be cost, accounts, finance, other things to be taught to us. Why technology? So that creates a kind of, a differentiated attitude and behavior from your side with respect to technology, which should not happen. Because when the world is transforming to technologies and India is becoming the main catalyst for it, almost every big tech companies in the world today is being headed by Indian. Right. And it's not only typical technology side or engineer has to go out for it. Educational has become edtech, finance has become fintech, medical have become medtech. Right. So when technology is everywhere, you should also absorb that part of the technology which is connected to your profession. 10 years down the line, I only believe and I only see people from the financial side are working on the fintech grounds only. There is no way out the traditional practice which has been done by maybe cost management accountant or chartered accountant or MBA finance people is not going to last. Is not going to last. So technology incorporation into your profile, your own self as well, and absorbing the aspect of technology is something which is inevitable. You have to go for it. Right? And I have written just a single line. I think you can imbibe that. In last 3 years, which was pandemic years, we as a IT professionals, we as a technical professionals have seen the change happening faster than expected. Every person who was forcefully being pushed into the technological platforms, right? I'm sure none of you were aware about all these Zoom, Teams, Google Meets and all before pandemic. Right? Now you are all into that. Every individual in the country today is more or less on the digital platform for payment also. So earlier bank statement used to have big transactions in inflow 2 lakh, outflow 1.5 lakhs and all. Today the transactions comes up is like 5 rupees given to auto rickshaw, 10 rupees given to right sabji wala and all. And today you go to bank and ask them the entire bank statement of yours from last 3 months. They say no, charge lagega. Because it is going to end up in 100 pages. Right? So when even the smallest of the chai wala, pan wala and your sabji wala has adopted technology, why not CMAs? Right? So we need to talk about India's digital transformation and what is the role of CMAs as a professional, and leave CMA. I'll take you as a financial professional, as the backbone of the entire financial system of the country. Right? So if you are the backbone, I think backbone has to be the most strongest thing. And to support my words, I have some facts to say. And I think when I'm putting up some data, I have a proof of it. Fine. So don't question on the data is fake and all. Right. Something which is very important for you, although because I have to convert this into a PDF format because a single device needs to be used. Otherwise, this was slightly animated and I would have asked question from you. Now, although figures is in front of you, can you imagine this number of data is being generated every day in India in 2022? That is 25 into 10 raised to the power 10 GB of data. That has been generated every day typically in India online. Don't you feel that's a big number? Very big. On the other side, how many Indians are using technology or internet? It is a 840 million, which is almost 60% of the entire population. If you talk about the entire world cyber crime related things, that has gone to 10.5 trillion. Now, just to correlate it out, what is the Indian economy valuations? It's around 3.5 trillion. 3 times that. 3 times the entire Indian economy is the size of the cyber crime in 2022. And most of the cyber crimes are for sure what? Financials, breaching the data, taking the funds, ransomware attacks, right? These words must be known to you. Even the smallest of the person or you and me must have, or maybe somebody from our family must be an, subject matter for that. That means how many of you have seen a Facebook post by some of your friends and family members that my email ID or my Facebook account has been hacked and somebody is asking money for it, please do not pay. Yes. How many of you have seen a word called sextortion? This has been in market these days. This 10.5 trillion is a counted number, and there are certain lot of uncounted cyber crimes which have resulted but not being recorded. So for me, it's more than three times. And on the other side, during pandemic only, as every school students, college students, even people above the age of 60, 65, 70 have been forced to be into digital platforms rather than putting up currency notes. Papa online pay kar dena. That you might have asked your parents as well. 250% rise is in the cyber crime only in India. And again, this is the recorded number by government. Unrecorded, for me, it is 740% rise in cyber crime in India itself. 740%. Now, who is going to control all this? Don't you feel to ensure that right controls are there, auditor is required? To find out the vulnerabilities into the system, auditors are required. To develop a secure system, again, a developer is required, but point is that what to tell a developer what to be developed. मुझे बताएगा कौन क्या बनाना है? Somebody needs to identify the pain points of business. Who is more connected to business? Engineers or financial professionals? Financial professionals. So when you are more connected to business, you have to bring this problem to us and we can only develop the solution. Thereafter, implementing the solution, training the staff to use the solution, finding out further modifications required in the solution has to be done by you because you are connected to the systems. I am not. I am just a one-time service provider for them from the technical side. They come down to us with the problem, we give them the solution. That's it. But whether the solution is accepted or not, problem is being clarified or not, who is connected 24/7? You. So don't think yourself only what? A financial auditor. Take yourself as a digital transformational professional for the country. I take you as a digital transformational professional. Right? A catalyst who can actually infuse fuel in digital transformation of the country and which is required. Right? Apart from that, let me tell you what is the market size Indian scenario. How many MSMEs are there? You know that? There are more than 6 million. That is 6 million MSMEs in India. Fine, that's a big number. Then there is 5+ trillion expected size of the Indian economy by 2027. That you know that. Mr. Modi has already projected $5 trillion US, and he is saying that by 2035 or 2047 we are going to cross everybody in the world. So when the economy is growing, digitalization is growing, why not financial professionals are in the same proportion growing towards tech involvement? $23.09 billion US is only the size of Indian industrial automation in 2027. All this can come in your pocket. So 28 lakhs could just be a small number, which was achieved last year by the eminent training and placement committee out here. 28 lakh will just be a small number. And just to tell you, for an engineer, 28 lakh is very big amount as a fresher. Average engineer in India does not get more than 3 lakh rupees as of now as well. But an average cost management accountant, I have just seen the figure in the morning, is getting 4.5 lakh rupees. This is the minimum package. Average was 12 and average for engineer is around 5.2. Even including IITs also. So you are slightly above in terms of placements, in terms of knowledge as per market acceptance. Because you are lesser in number. Demand supply supply is less, demand is more. Just to tell you, government when this new Data Protection Act was there are certain new compliances which were released by Government of India. Anurag Thakur has raised a requirement, I think 6 years back, in an informal discussion, that somewhere around 50,000 information system auditors are required in the country. 50,000. And today, as of now, including all professionals, whether it is IS audit given by international bodies like ISACA or maybe by CMA or maybe by ICAI, there are 27,000 only as of now. So 23,000, it's direct gap which is visible, which is for sure visible. India is going to be the 4th largest in the digital transformation after US, Europe, and China. So I am just showcasing you two figures. One is what is going in the market in terms of cyber crimes, in terms of intensity of the market and all, and some which is completely Indian scenario, which is forcing you to push yourself as a digital transformation consultant. Right. So for beginning, so I hope you have seen this before also sometime. Right. So industries has moved in a systematic format from industry 1.0 to industry 4.0. We are currently in 4.0 and we are heading towards what? 5.0. So when it comes to 1, 2, 3, you all are aware they were majorly mechanics, electricals, and computational work. But when we are heading towards from 4 to 5, we are more talking about what? Which is known as digitalization, and that too personalization. Fine. So earlier you can recall the days when the websites were very static for you. Every website page for you and me is same. Today every website page for you and me is different. It is showcasing you, the products, the services, the things out there which you have liked or which you have connected for. That means they are reading out entire, even minute data of yours. Once you put something on Google, it reads that what is your mindset. It keeps a profile of you. So 20 years down the line, I think Google knows more than what you know about yourself. Right? Because they are keeping a track on you. If entire data is there, personalization is going to happen. And this personalization is affecting what? One, data privacy. Right. So who is going to ensure the data privacy is intact? Just to tell you, there are around 270 applications which were banned during pandemic. What was the reason behind that? They were not fulfilling the guidelines stated by Government of India from data privacy. They are not fulfilling. That's the reason they have been blocked. Sooner or later, there will be every application has to have a data privacy certificate. Until a privacy certificate is there, they are not supposed to be there on the Google platform or Google Play Store for downloading. Now, who is going to give the certificate to them? Engineer? No, we are here to develop. And when it comes to development, we try to develop something which is accessible to all. We do not care about what data privacy. We do not know about what data privacy is. Are we taught law in engineering? So we are not aware and we are not bothered. We are not concerned about what are the compliances. Who is going to tell us the compliances needs to be implemented? Who is going to ensure that whatever the changes in compliances as per the global and local scenarios are there, they are implemented or not? Obviously, somebody who is connected to the business. True. So technically speaking, as more the digitalizations and personalization is going to happen, more is the need of people who can catalyst into digital transformation, who is connected to the business, knows about every nick and bit of business, knows about financials and knows about compliances. And is there anybody in the entire country, lawyers, doctors, who is connected to business? No, lawyers are not connected. They are only called upon when there is a case. Doctors, no. Engineers, only technical. It's only financial professionals. So when you are the one, why not you want to be the only one? So today the word is VUCA word. You know what is that? Right? It is volatile, uncertain, complex, and ambiguous. You have to change that VUCA acronym to this. You have to have a vision for it. So vision from digital transformation side. You have to understand the technology, not from the implementation point of view, but not from the development point of view, but from the implementation point of view. What is required is your output. How it needs to be developed, leave it that to us. You need to understand the clarity of business compliances and how these things are going to shape the entire future. And then obviously you have to develop the adaptability for it, for which you are not ready as of now. Fine, you are taking this as an alien subject. So change the VUCA terminology from the upper one to the lower one. And as soon as you move to the lower side, I think that's the time when you become a fintech professional. I do not want to see or hear from your mouth maybe 10 years down the line that finance industry is gone. No, fintech is there to stay. Make yourself tech enabled. And for doing it, these are the technologies which are actually affecting. The entire world is being influenced by this technology, whatever field you want to see, whether it is medical field or whether it is Tesla cars, automobile field, fine, or whether it is financials. So there is no sequence of the technologies I have mentioned, but just to tell you, AI you all aware about. In the morning you were discussing about, will AI replace humans? I say no, there are two things which cannot be put on up into device. One is emotions and one is common sense. Right? Because both the things we do not know ourselves from where they come up and from where they go actually. Second, robotics. Although indirectly that is not going to affect you, but yes, not directly, but indirectly it is going to affect you. Because there are a lot of devices which are going to do repetitive clerical tasks for which you are getting some pennies from the market today. Right? And those pennies clubbed up together becomes a big chunk of revenue for you. But sooner or later, robotics or RPA, that is robotic process automation devices, or the software is going to replace this all completely. Right? In the banks also, if you have seen the transformation happen, I think the DICE will agree to the fact that initially we have to stand in the queue just to get our passbook updated. Right? And it takes entire, you can say post lunch milega, pre lunch milega, we have to use to go to bank multiple times just to get our passbook updated. Today you have a machine, you go, put up the, goes out. Leave that time also. Your online banking gives the entire thing free of cost at your own, you don't have to move. So that means the clerical job which was there available in the bank just for updating the passbook on the regular basis is gone. Sooner or later, government will also come up with all TDS and what taxation calculation or GST calculation from such a transparent manner that it goes automatic. You just need to click deposit, that's it. Correct? Submission needs to be done because everything will be completely transparent. What you will do in that case? What are you going to do? बटन दबाएंगे नहीं, वो तो मैं दबा लूंगा मेरे घर में बैठ के. What you will do? You will develop the package backend. You will ensure that blockchain technology which is connected to that entire data which is digitalized, analyze that and predict new business models. See, today you talk about any startups, whether it is Ola, Uber, Zomato, Swiggy, whatever, what they have thought of. What was the base of their startup idea? You know that? What was the base? Have they identified a problem going into the market? No. Have they surveyed out lakhs of people before building a business model? No. What they have done? They have analyzed the smallest of the data. And on the basis of data, they have generated and they have realized, there is a problem and for which the solution is not existing. And that void becomes their $1 million or $1 billion idea. So don't you feel data analytics is something which is the most important crux? And when the data is increasing to a level, now to a level means what? You talk about what? GB or TB, that's it. That is the terminology which you know in the data, true? GB is available in pen drives and terabytes are available in your laptops. What about above it? You're not aware about the units of data also. There is bronotabyte, yonotabyte. You might be aware about gigabyte, terabyte, petabyte, zettabyte and all. The unit which is flourishing in the market today is bronotabyte. And this is going to change tomorrow again. Day after tomorrow, there will be another unit because data is not deleting. We are not deleting the data anyhow. The concept of deletion of data is gone. History. Nothing needs to be get deleted. Or hoga bhi nahi kabhi. Right? So just cracking a job at this moment. Make sure whatever you are accessing on internet, fine, should be genuine enough. Because maybe 100 years down the line, your great granddaughter or son may ask your profile on internet. Fine, Google, Facebook, WhatsApp, they may release an offer 500. You want to give 500 rupees? Take the entire profile of your great grandfather. बदनाम वहां नहीं होना, इसलिए आज जो सर्च करो ढंग से करना. Right? Anyway, so then data is not deleted. So analytics become the crux part of it, so that you will be able to figure it out which individual is accessing what, how the financial movement is happening, what are the taste and preferences of it, and then only club up your business model or support the business you are supporting in such a manner that your facts and figures are going to influence them as a fuel to develop their growth. Right? So IoT, you know that it is again next big thing. Almost everybody of us is wearing some or the other IoT devices, maybe your earphone or a smartwatch or maybe a wearable thing. Tomorrow, this lens card is coming up with a smart eyewears as well. So when everything is smart, obviously the devices connection is there. So devices are sharing the data with each other, right? So smart city concept is there. Your traffic signals are going to be smart, automatic, rather than standard 30-second here, 30-second here. They will check the traffic and then only 90 seconds here or maybe 10 seconds here, because the traffic of inflow is lesser than outflow. So when these smart devices are there connected to each other, who will ensure that these devices are working rightly or not? Who will ensure that these devices are not going to be hacked online and can be manipulated for somebody's individual purpose? सबने धूम देखी है, उसमें ट्रैफिक लाइट्स को ही बंद करके क्राइम किया गया था, राइट? सो वहां समझना चाहिए था कि इसको रोका कैसे जाए. इट शुड नॉट लाइक बाइक कैसे चल रही है, हाउ जॉन अब्राहम इज लुकिंग इन द मूवी. The question should arise in your mind, how to stop this kind of breaches, these kind of vulnerabilities in the devices which can be stopped. So tomorrow everybody of us is wearing smartwatch. Can smartwatch, can these be hacked? Can your Siri and Alexa be hacked? So who is going to audit? Who's going to make sure devices are intact, they are not being hacked, they are secure? Again, you. So when it comes to artificial intelligence, blockchain, robotics, IoT, data sciences, cloud computing, AR, VR, which is again next big thing, and MR also. I am sure MR is not known to you. AR is known? Artificial? What is AR? Augmented reality, not artificial reality. Augmented reality. What is VR? What is MR? Mixed reality. Fine. So mixed reality movie, which was seen by all of you, Matrix, that was mixed reality, in which you wear that, you presume to be there, but actually you are there only. You have seen Keanu Reeves, उसको वॉर में वहां पे लड़ाई में लग जाती है, वापस आता है तो उसको यहाँ लगी हुई मिलती है ना. So is it a virtual reality? No, it's a mixed reality. So with Meta, Metaverse, fine. Facebook is talking and they actually renamed themselves as Meta. So when this Meta related things is going to come up, AR, VR and MR is something which is here to stay. But is the word technology you prepared for that? No. And let me tell you, the faster the changes are happening, the professionals are not changing the same pace. Technology is going too fast, extremely fast. Morning till evening, your mobile phone become dead. It's expired from the market actually. The technology is expired. Whatever you have bought today as a best phone, tomorrow there will be another version for it and it's outdated. So from technological companies to medical companies, from pharmaceutical companies to agriculture companies, from banks to financial institutions to stock market, right? And to any company, any individual, whether it is MSME or larger organization. Everybody needs cybersecurity, everybody needs system audit, everybody needs VAPT assessment, everybody needs digital transformation, everybody needs training for making sure staff is ready for the digital transformation. And all these roles can only be placed by one particular group of individuals who are closest to the business. And I am talking about you only. Digital transformation is a 7-phase. I have Internet of Things. Internet is what? Network. Things is what? Devices. So today almost every, Siri in home, Alexa, and you have, that is IoT, which is connected to internet. It is having a voice command from you, listening your instructions and doing you. Your smart watches, your smart cameras, whenever you talk about a word called smart means sensor enabled devices. And those devices are connected to network. So that is IoT. And actually IoT has taken the next level, and today it is not actually IoT only. It becomes different verticals for it as well.
So medical industry is using IoT as an IOMT, Internet of Medical Things. Fine. So today you have heard about the case or no? Let me tell you. Stun, which is being placed when somebody has a heart attack. There's an internet-enabled stun which is placed out, which can be monitored from the outside whether it is functioning perfectly or not. Because once placed in, you are not able to track it out. So there is a smart stun which is manufactured, which is IOMT, Internet of Medical Technology related stun, which is being infused inside the body. And now you are able to track the functioning of the stun. And whenever you feel like no, it's not working properly, you can replace it out. It is going to send the data from the inside as well, that whether the heart pumping and your blood movement is perfect or not. If not, then actually you can get your updated or operated also. But as these devices are helping you out in analysis and making your life much better, there is a big time issue in that as well. That stun, the case study which I am talking about, that stun from outside is being hacked, right? And stopped working. As soon as it stopped working, the person who is having the stun died. And that was a big time discussion in the world, that whether these devices are here to support an individual or these devices, if hacked, are going to become a way out in killing someone. So don't you feel these devices are helpful on one side, but making them secure will save the problem? But safety has not been talked as of now. The auditing of these devices has not been done. The technological people like us are crazy about R&D. We do R&D, we develop a product, put it into the market. 2 years down the line, people feel like the product was not accepted, it has a lot of vulnerabilities, let's discard it out. Fine. Who is going to discuss before the product is available in the market? Who has discovered 2 years afterward? People like you only who are auditors from different angle. If that auditing would have been done in advance, don't you feel the devices would be much more secure and would have not hampered the life of an individual? Today, every camera which you are having a smart camera. I am having my laptop has an inbuilt camera, as sir's laptop. I always put a tape there. You know why? Because I am teaching all those things and I feel like my data and everything is important. So I keep intact my security, because once it is being connected to online, my camera can be hacked from outside also. Even the camera TVs you are having, Facebook TV was released in US. Fine. And that TV was the most advanced smart TV which is having camera and all those features. That TV was hacked out in a very weird manner, for which a 6-year-old kid was mentored systematically 2 years to kill his own parents. A kid was mentored by somebody outside to kill the parents just because the camera was open. So when the parents are not home, somebody else is influencing the individual. It's like brain mapping. Pura brainwash kar diya. Infused to kill the parents and take the money. वो तो पकड़ दिया गया, इसलिए all the case and the entire case study was open enough. It was discovered how it had happened. But all of us are vulnerable. All of us are vulnerable. Reason everybody of us use smart devices, technology involvement and everything without knowing the security aspect of it. Fine. Just a small thing to create a slight curiosity in your mindset. How many of your laptops, including the dice, has an anti-malware software or an antivirus software? Everybody does it. Everybody has an antivirus software on your laptops or desktop. Fine. How many of you are having the same on your mobile phones? Nobody. Why? किसी ने बताया नहीं कि सोचा नहीं. When you feel like your devices are vulnerable from virus, they can be attacked from virus and your important file data can get corrupted. I think today almost all important file data, application, financial, credit card details are on your mobile phone as well. So why you feel like your mobile phones are invincible? They cannot be attacked by anyone. So only problem is awareness is not there. We do not think beyond our boundaries, right? Someday I take a session on, there was a startup, I am a startup mentor as well with Niti Aayog. So there was a conference which was organized by one of the university. So let the student think out of the box. The first line I said that, who put you in the box? When you say you want to think out of the box, my first question is, who put you into the box? You yourself, nobody else. The box boundaries are created by 4 things. One is you create your one boundary. One is created by your own teachers who take you, ye samajh, nahi, ye mat samajh, ye samajh. The boundary वहाँ create हुआ. Another boundary by your parents. Another boundary by the society. Now all these 3 boundaries cannot be removed by you. The boundary which you have created for yourself can be removed. So remove that boundary. Nobody is asking you to think out of the box. You are by default out of the box. Remove the boundary. So remove your barrier of technological hindrance. You are by default connected to the tech world. Absorb the technology in such a manner, you are a tech professional. Right? Then comes web and mobile application, which we are all doing. I think nobody of us today do anything standing in the queue. Wherever you feel like there is a queue, you find out a technical option for it. Right? You want to stand in a queue, search for a cab, Ola and Uber comes up. You go to a hotel, try to book up a hotel by seeing the rooms and all gone. Tech support for us. Standing in the bank queue, tech support. Electricity bill, water bill, tech gone. True? So wherever you feel like there is a problem of standing in the queue, you have found out a tech solution for it. So when tech is so much out there, why not absorbing it out? So digital transformation, actually, which I'm talking about, is actually a 7-step process, right? Which starts from why we need to go for tech. That is understanding the problem of the business. Fine, as you are connected to business in terms of their strategizing, financial planning, tax planning and all, you know every nick and bit of the entire business. Understand their problems, or else tell them that if this can be tech enabled, it can be a catalyst for your growth. So align, then prepare a culture for change. That means employees inside the company should be prepared for change. And for this, SOPs are important. Governance models are important, which again in the morning you were talking about. A lot of the organization today, ma'am was talking about ONGC has a lot of SOPs for almost everything. What is the SOP level of startups today? Have you ever checked out? No. They are more connected to what needs to be developed. Version 1, version 2, version 3. But what were SOPs? No planning. No procedures are the standard procedures not there. And because procedures are not there, succession planning is not there. Who is going to develop these SOPs for them? Engineers are not capable of developing SOPs because we do not know the technical legal jargons. We do not know the process of the entire system. You know it. So get into preparation of the entire culture of the systems. Then a small but be strategic. That means technological transformation should not be done all together at one point of time. You all have been into IRCTC online ticketing platform. You all have using the banking platform in a systematic manner. Is what all done all together at once? No. Initially, it was all confirmed tickets which was online. Then comes waiting ticket. What bank has done? Initially, only ATMs were used to withdraw the cash. Then deposit of cash. Then comes what? Check order. Then comes what? OTP. Whatever. What today you think of anything that is available on either ATM machines or your net banking platform. True? Even NEFT and RTGS, for which earlier you have to stand in the queue and wait for that. Those are also available online 24/7 basis. So is it altogether a one-time transformation? No, systematic. So you have to build up what is required first. What are the core areas? Then what are the systematically subsequent areas that needs to be automated together. So strategize the entire thing. Then map up our technology. Which technology to be used? Whether it is IoT, whether it is AI. And let me tell you what we were discussing again in the morning. There is not a single technology which is working in isolation. IoT sensor हाथ में लेके थोड़ी घूमेंगे. So कहाँ चाहिए sensor? Smart watch में चाहिए ना? Fine. Who will develop the watch? Who will make sure the data in the watch is between the cloud environment? Data यहाँ से कहाँ जा रहा है? When you walk for 100 steps, there is a data capturing. Where the data moves from here? Cloud. It got analyzed out there. You get just a presentation of yours. You have walked out 100 steps with these number of calories burned out. True. So data is migrated to cloud. Is cloud is not working in this technology? Yes. Devices are there. Is robotics not working? Yes. Sensors are there? Yes. Internet? Yes. So none of the technology works in isolation. You have to just understand what is the right ecosystem for an organization. So that is map out the technology and technological integration for them. This again, you can do it. Without understanding the detail of development, you can still figure it out. This technology is important for it. Because the pain points are visualized by you here. It is very obvious. Then come seek out partners and expertise. That is the developers. You are not a developer, but seek out the right developer for that. Maybe Infosys as a company becomes a topmost developer, or Tech Mahindra, or whatever, Tata, or TCS and all. But for everybody, it cannot be a topmost of the companies. For MSMEs, you need small developers in your own city. So try to figure it out here. I was there in Bhilwara sometime before I discovered them out. The entire city is being flooded with the textile industries. I've just infused a request to a chartered accountant. Please make sure whatever the problem they are facing, I think there could be a common problem with all the industries. Develop a tech solution for them. Today, he is not practicing in chartered accountancy. He is practicing into ERP implementation. left chartered accountancy course. He has developed an ERP. He's selling an ERP with an AMC. He's selling first time ERP for around 5 lakh rupees, having an AMC for 2 lakh rupees per year. Now he's tied up with around 20 companies, 40 lakh. And maintenance, actually nothing needs to be done. Now, let me tell you one thing, we should not go out of the market. Is room ke bahar nahi jana chahiye. As a professional, you, financial, me, engineer, lawyer and doctors, एक ही चीज के ऊपर हमारा प्रोफेशन चलता है, पता है? डर. क्लाइंट को डरा के रखो. From whatever angle, fine, your profession is going to sustain. But डर गलत नहीं डराना है. We are telling them today, if your data is not safe, tomorrow some other attacker can attack. So make your data safe today. उसको समझ में नहीं आ रहा है, मैं आपको 2 टूल दूंगा, which I am giving to my DSA participants also. 2 टूल लगा के दिखा दो उसको कि सर यहाँ बैठे बैठे मैंने हैक कर लिया, यहाँ बैठे बैठे मैंने आपका डेटा ब्रीच कर दिया, आपकी खुद की एक्सेसिबिलिटी आपके डेटा से रोक दी मैंने. This can be done with a simple tool from a simple device without knowing a technology for it. If this can be done by you, I think घंटी बजेगा उसका, हो गया हमारा काम. You can start giving them the solution for it. So map out the technology and seek out the right partners who can develop the solution. Don't develop your solution on your own. But yes, finding out the right partners, finding out what needs to be done is your cup of tea. Then gather feed-ups and refine it out, because it is not a solution which is one time given to them, is a lifetime solution for it. Technology is changing, attackers are stepping ahead. So obviously defense mechanisms and people like you should keep on enhancing the features inside the system also. Right? So keep on making sure you are auditing the systems, evaluating their further needs, evaluating the market trends, evaluating the compliances needs or government regulations and all, and making sure system is updated. So that becomes a regular involvement for you. And make sure it has been scaling up. So rather than from a single enterprise, so initially banks were automated in the single branch, right? Then comes all branches are connected. So ICICI Bank, one branch was automated. Then what happens? ICICI, all branches are connected to each other. Now today what happens? ICICI, HDFC, SBI, all are connected, and that's the reason you put SBI card into HDFC, the funds come out. So automation can never happen all together at once. So scale up to a level in which the entire industry can be connected to each other, right? Got it? What could be your role? Very specific, 5 roles. You can take it out, take a snapshot, take a copy of it, write it down, whatever you want. These are the 5 roles which I visualize or which I can see from a financial person point of view in the next decade. That is, first, information system audit and cyber forensic expert. Visible profession today itself. Correct? Second, AI and BC. That is what? Digital transformation consultant. Fine. Business consultant. Implementation in the financial and compliances world. That is a fintech market. Including blockchain, which is something which is, again, I feel like blockchain is slightly overhyped, but sooner or later it is going to take the main data management tool in the world. Right? So take that. Then come digital transformation and GRC consultant for the MSMEs. Nobody is working for MSMEs. Talk about KPMG, PwC, whatever these big giants, 4 or 5 are there. They can work for only large organizations. I do not want to jump up into taking a Reliance project or an ONGC project. I am more interested in taking MSME project, because for them, the entire market is open. They will release a bid and then the big companies will fight for, we will not get the market for it. MSMEs, I am sure KPMG will not go to a local MSME market and reach out to them, and they will not be able to satisfy their financial needs as well. So only target MSMEs, leave the large organization. Large organization, until you get the job, go for it. But if you do not want to do the job, want to be a consultant, an individual practitioner, look for MSMEs. That's the biggest market. And on the sales, MSMEs may only take cement industry, sugar industry, whatever industry. I'll tell you one example which I have done and which I have sold it also. I have developed 4 companies, 1 drastically in loss, 2 I have sold it out, 1 I am still sustaining. Fine. In 2 companies, the first company I have developed, I have analyzed the market in 2000. I'm talking about 2007. I am from Rajasthan, Kota. So Jaipur becomes very nearest to us. In Jaipur, there is a lot of goldsmiths. Sunar hai bahut sare sunar. Export bahut hota hai of those jadau jewelries and whatever. Goes too much to European market. And every milligram is important for them. So what we have done, we have analyzed the problem for the entire goldsmiths in the Jaipur market. And then me and my brother had developed a solution for their stock keeping and for their movement of goods and making sure what is in their what process. So finished goods, raw material, and another process. We have regulated the entire thing on a digital platforms, make them completely visualized from a single dashboard. We have developed that. We have sold out in Jaipur, around 48 licenses. Then somebody told us, go to Europe. Yeah, Europe is a big market. Fine, it will sell like hot cake out there. We go to Europe market, moved into 7 countries out there. We were able to solve 52 licenses there. Fine. So what me and my brother have infused into developing that particular project was hardly 3 lakh rupees. Hardly 3 lakh rupees. And the time which we have devoted was somewhere around 8 or 9 months time. Right? 3 lakh rupees because few resources needs to be acquired from market. Rest we have developed. So including our manpower also, if you calculate, not more than 10 lakh rupees. Right? 100 licenses sold at 2 lakh rupees. 2 crore. AMC, another revenue. 2 years down the line, then we feel like there are a lot of ERPs which are directly coming up as a free of cost or maybe from a bigger companies. Then we find out an opportunity, somebody was ready to buy out our entire package. We have sold it for 1 CR. So infuse money of 10 lakh rupees with the initial sales, selling out, and whatever the AMC we have made, 4.5 crore, 3.5 crores. Is there any business model which is more beneficial for this? In terms of developing a solution targeted to a specific market, satisfying their needs, when somebody bigger comes up, sell it out. So small projects give you more revenue and more lucrative, futuristic business options rather than a larger target, one-time big company market. Look for the MSMEs problem. And there are hundreds and hundreds of MSME problem in India today because the digital transformation startup India has created this thing much bigger. Right? Then comes business, data analytics, strategic and financial angles. Because data is the key, as sir has already said, it is the fuel for this era. So start using that fuel to drive your car. And last comes, there is unique, implementing unique document identification number, which is there. Fine. So if you want to implement it out, it becomes very easy. Today, if I have to showcase a case to you, even Microsoft and Google, you can search it on internet. Forged bills have been raised for them, and indirectly they have paid $11 million on forged bills because document identification was not there, document mapping was not there in terms of goods and invoice raised. So if the documents identification has been done in a unique manner, it's like every document has been digitally separately identified. It's very similar to when you do a bank transaction. There is a transaction ID which is generated, and uniquely that can be identified in the entire chunk of the transactions all over the world, maybe 100 years down the line as well. So each and every document can be mapped up in such a manner with UDIN implementation in a systematic manner. I think that creates another business opportunity for you. That's what I'm saying. The problem baad mein realize hoti hai. Fine, you can check it out. I can showcase you the real-time data. Yes. The point is that you are a registered vendor for me. Fine. I am in regular connect with you, purchasing something from you. A fake invoice come from you only, not directly from you. Somebody else has generated a fake invoice under your name with certain tweaked account number. Fine. So there was no checking of it. Okay, aaya hai, standard clientele of ours. Let's process the bill. So the monitoring was not there. So even big companies, if are unable to track it out, I think small companies are even more vulnerable. Yeah. Fine. So I have just released a paper around a month back with respect to top 35 vulnerabilities in the Indian IT sector for 2023 only. So 35 vulnerabilities in 2023, 2024 might be different vulnerabilities. So if this paper is being known to you, you read that paper, you read the entire presentation, go about what are the vulnerabilities, why they occur, what is the outcome for the vulnerability, what is the effect of an organization, and what is the control implemented to that. If those 35 things are there, I think there is a roadmap available in front of you. How to approach MSME, these are the 35 problems, sir. We can give you a solution for it. Am I right? So let's develop it out. If you want the paper, I'll circulate with sir. You have it. Although I've developed for IIT Delhi, it has been already published. So my presentation is there. Paper will not be understandable by you, very sure. It becomes around 30 pages, all theory, and that too technical words, which is for you like words from Mars or a French terminology. But I'll give you a small presentation which tells you about what's the problem, what could be the impact of problem, and what is the solution of problem. right? So if all these 5 roles, you find out any synchronization with even one of them, take that one as your core area. Don't try to jump up into all 5. 5 नाव पे पैर नहीं रखेंगे, पैर 2 ही हैं और वो भी अलग अलग हो जाएंगे. Take one opportunity, expertise in that. And how to expertise? There is a systematic roadmap for it. Very systematic roadmap. And that roadmap is not developed by me. It is already available. You just need to align yourself with that roadmap. Do this knowledge, maybe a couple of certifications and couple of hands-on exercises. And apart from reading theory, what I was already saying with sir and ma'am in the morning, that start reading and learning concepts from case studies. And that to real-time case studies. Always make sure for each and every concept you are studying, you should have a real-time case study connected to that. Fine. I am working with a couple of organizations to develop a case study base for them, although not connected to you. It's primarily from the engineering side. But why I always say there has to be 3 phases of case study, or 3, you can say 3 types of case studies. One is international case studies, which can be taken as a landmark case studies. Give the entire 0 to infinite detailing of a particular concept. And once a case study is there, it's not only a topic case study. There are multiple things connected to that. Financial also come up, strategy come up, management, technology, all comes up in the same thing. Then comes localized case study. That is the case study of India or maybe your own zone. And third case study should be developed by you yourself. That means you imagine something, a weird thing which can happen, develop a case study and solution for it. Today it may not be there in the market, but tomorrow your case study will become a landmark case study for that. So weird thing which is not there in the market, think of it, research for it, develop a case for it. Maybe a hypothetical situation, hypothetical solution, and hypothetical process for it. But today when it is hypothetical, it becomes reality thereafter. Okay, so start developing that scenario rather than mugging up books and books and books, or maybe getting up notes from Mumbai ke notes, Delhi ke notes, Chennai ke notes. That is what the trend of almost all students. Leave the trends of collecting the notes. I do not want you to have a database of yours or maybe a data warehouse. Start mining. Warehouse इकट्ठा करने से कुछ नहीं होगा. If the data is all there with Google, nothing going to happen. They are not keeping the data with them. They are analyzing it. They are generating some sort of sense out of it, and then the outcome comes up in front of you like what? Chat GPT aa gaya. Like DALE E aa gaya. Might not be aware about, but DALE is a much advanced platform than Chat GPT as well. Developed by the same company. Right? So this is all I need to talk on. I think I have taken extra time, which is allotted to me. Fine. So this is something which I need to say in the last. It's time to embrace the change and accept the new medium of digitalization as a weapon in your profession. Right? So thank you very much. Before moving out, any doubts and queries from your side or anything you need to add specifically, please. Yeah. Sir, there is nothing called ethics. Ethics आपके और मेरे साथ होते हैं. There is a concept called hacking. If you are doing it for the benefit of society under the guidelines of government or for the benefit of catching up a crime, that becomes ethical. If you are doing it for your own purpose, it becomes unethical. Fine. So for hacking, you need to know 2 things. One is hacking from outside point of view. That is, computer has 2 things. One is inside the computer, one is surrounding of computer. So inside the computer, technology chahiye. You need to know about chip-based programming.
Exactly. Why I asked this question is that IOMT example is for me, where the base figure of that is
Stun was hacked.
Which was attached. That is being hacked from outside.
Outside.
Now, when you are doing that, when the product is being developed, after that there should be substantial
testing for it, right?
And so one type of ethical hacking will be an area which will be
one type of hacking can be learned in terms of to check what are the vulnerabilities. So technically hacking becomes a single term. I take VAPT as a term. Vulnerability assessment and penetration testing. You should do that and find out what are the areas which can be affected and controls can be implemented. But the challenge is that 99% of the professional feel like what? Control need to be implemented inside the device before it has been infused into the body. No. Control can be implemented outside as well on the network, protocol and all. Once the device is there, it is hacked on the network. So where the control needs to be put up? In the device or on the network? Network. So develop those networks rather than testing this multiple times. Test the network. Device is available. Let's make sure that path to the device should be blocked. So go for VAPT. Don't talk about hacking or ethical hacking. Fine. And there is nothing called ethics in the world today. Okay. Thank you, sir. Yeah.
Just kindly. I will request Arindan just kindly come and facilitate. Arindam is our regional council member from Chhattisgarh.
Oh, great. So
He
they're
has
from
come all the
Chhattisgarh.
way from Raipur.
Arre. So I keep on coming to Raipur multiple number of times. Your Bhilai branch chairman Pal sir,
Pradeep Raj.
Pratipa, he is like
Very
big
close
brother
to-
to me.
Very close.
I have my brother-in-law up there as well.
Okay. Very close to me.
Okay,
Pradeep
okay,
also.
I was there only a month back for delivering a session.
Please come.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Saurav, for your stormy session. It's something like that when this Cheteshwar Pujara is making 100 within 30 balls. Do something like that. And we love it, sir. The point is this, he was talking about the system audit. The huge scope is waiting for us. And for your information, this Board of Advanced Studies and Research is working on this field. And you will be very happy enough that already the DISA, which has already been started by the Board of Advanced Studies and Research of the Institute of Cost Accountants of India, the Diploma in Information System Security Audit, that has been well accepted by Hindustan Aeronautics Limited, Konkan Railway, my company, then Jute Corporation of India, even Coal India, so one of the Maharatna company, and so many other companies are also slowly and steadily considering this DISA qualification as a mandatory qualification or as an additional qualification who wants to participate in the bidding process of internal auditors. And I am very happy that not only the Coal India particularly, not only they have considered the DISA, they also have considered the SAP FICO qualification, which has also been started by the Board of Advanced Studies and Research as a prerequisite qualification for the same. So one point I just like to tell you, sir, you are talking about the system audit. Just can you imagine that, say for an example, today you have boarded a train from VT, from Chhatrapati Shivaji terminus, and you want to go to south in Mangalore. You have purchased a ticket of say 2,000 rupees. Do you know that how many railway zone you are crossing? Because we are associated, because I am from the Konkan Railway, that's why I'm telling. In the first, you will cross the Central Railway. After that, you will cross the Konkan Railway. After that, you will cross the Southern Railway. And the total ticketing price, the 2,000 rupees, will be segregated between the three zones according to the route kilometers. And just think that the Chitrali madam, who is purchasing the ticket from Delhi, for traveling from CST to Mangalore, then she may not know all the things, but this is happening behind the screen. And if there is any problem, then there will be a fluctuation in the revenue in between these three railway zones. And what will happen if somebody will hack or something like this? And the beautiful software which has been developed by the CRIS, they are controlling the entire 17 zones of India through this particular one software. So this is very, very important. And another things which I just also like to inform you, that Union Bank of India, who has also accepted or recognized our DISA and DFA courses for their own employees. And once their employees will pursue these courses, they will be promoted or they will be eligible for the promotions. So now, without taking much time, now I will request our next honorable speaker, Chitrali Goswami. She is Chief General Manager and Head Finance of Onshore Engineering Services of ONGC. She is a fellow member of the Institute of Cost Accountants of India and has published many articles in reputed business and management journals She has been an esteemed speaker on number of national and international conferences and a faculty in the Institute of Advanced Studies, Guru Govind, Indraprastha University, Delhi. And another most important thing is this: she is a very famous classical singer. So without taking much time, I will request Chitrali Madam to discuss a very important topics today, that is, which I also like to listen from a PSU perspective, that how you will handle the contracts and what are the litigations generally come out of the contract and how you will face it and how you will solve it and how you will address it properly. Thank you, madam. Please come.
Good evening. Good evening to especially the youngsters whom I see in front of me, the torch bearers of the Institute, future citizens, and the causes for the 5 trillion economy of the country. Good evening to our seniors, both on the dais and off the dais, the Institute President, past President, my esteemed speaker, Chairman of Placement Board, my colleagues, Mr. Nandi, Dr. Nandi rather, Dr. Nandi, our council member who has come all the way from Raipur, Mr. Arindam Goswami, all the office bearers of the Institute, Western India Regional Council, and everyone else whose names I have not been able to take right now here. Of course, we have our from Reliance, the supply chain head, I think, is El Prakash ji. So the list is long who are with us, and I'm really, really privileged to come and share few of my experiences. As I was just telling Dr. Maheshwari, that I don't think we speak anything, we prepare anything now after having so many years of practical experience. And we can only speak from our experience and how we have faced a challenge, how we are adhering to the SOPs, how we need to think out of the box, being within the box, and the boundaries, as he said, who have created the boundaries. There are 3 parties: you, parents, teachers. I feel today's world, the present generation, all boundaries are set by them and them alone. Very little role to play by the parents, very little role to play by the institutes and the schools and colleges. It has, because the whole world is in their hands. Everything is digital, everything is online, all informations are in their hands. So gone are the days when parents were in, wrong conception, the children, whatever I teach, he will take or she will take that. Now children don't do that. They go and verify. They look for the opportunities, especially the teenagers, they look for the opportunities when they can hold their parents not correct. So for the older generation, as well as not so old generation, and the youngest who are senior citizens, digital platform has to be adhered to by one and all if you want to remain relevant. Now we are talking about complexities in contracting process and overview with reference to large engineering projects. Why I chose this topic? The complexities in contracting process, of course, is there, but why I took only large engineering projects? Because certain kind of contracting process are a bit mundane. You will get to learn about them everywhere. The general, regular, repetitive kind of contracts, you will get to learn about them everywhere. When you are industry ready, after you have completed your course of CMA and you've just begun your career in any of the corporates, whether it's PSU or non-PSU, be it startup, be it MSME, you have to face with certain peculiarities so far as large projects are concerned. Now, amidst large projects, the most complicated projects are the engineering projects because it involves lot of technology, not that others don't. Even a bridge making is a technology and a road making is also technology. But the kind of advancements which are taking place in an engineering project is phenomenal. Therefore, I have chosen this, and considering that we have students here, we have newly starting practice CMAs, I'm not keeping it very complicated. I'm just very simplifiedly, I would say, what are the processes that could be involved? Now, what are the steps? Contracting process, everybody knows. Now we will limit ourselves for the time being only to the engineering projects. Some of the steps are same and some you may feel little different. Now see the stages. Pre-conception to indenting, expression of interest to tender floating, pre-bid, post-bid conference and clarifications, bid evaluation to award, contract signing to execution, post-contract issues, closure and handover. These are very much understandable. Does not require much of explanation, right? So while these are the stages, now the first stage is preconception to indenting. Now we will see what are the stages in that. Because we are talking about engineering projects. I repeat this time and again. Pre-concept can be a need base or an innovation base. You already have a project or you already have an installation, you already have some production facilities, but you need to enhance the facility. That could be one reason why you're going for this new projects, or innovation could be another, or completely upgradation of new technology could be another reason. So in the preconception to indenting, first the pre-concepts will arise. Some of them would be need-based, some of them would be innovation, some of them would be due to wanting to go diversification, and many reasons that can be. After that, there'll be an MDT. Who all know among the students, who knows what is MDT? It is multidisciplinary team. So no, like our previous speaker said, no technology can work in isolation. All of them are internally linked and they sort of communicate with each other. Similarly, multidisciplinary team has to be formed first to conceptualize an engineering project. What are those disciplines? Unfortunately, finance discipline is not required there during conceptualization. It can be electrical, it can be production, it can be instrumentation engineering, it can be computer science. There are different discipline engineers and technologists who will form a team, and they will conceptualize what is required to be done for this particular project. Because engineering projects, it is, suppose you want to design a transformer, even that requires different discipline of engineers. If you want to design a oil production facility creation for companies like ONGC, Reliance, Oil India, there are multiple discipline technologies which comes from MDT. Then something you prepare called technical bid package. Why I'm giving you all these is you should be industry ready when you go. Because the first day you enter, very first day you will have to sit in a committee evaluating these projects. If you have no background, you will not be able to cope up. They're very complex in nature. So the technical bid package is a huge exercise by itself. What are the technologies? Stage-wise, step-wise, which will be considered, and what kind of flow diagrams will come there, what kind, where to where it will flow, what are the intersections of the technologies where they have to really corroborate with each other, compatibility, all that will be prepared during this technical bid package. After that, of course, there is survey. Once they've conceptualized, they will do a little bit of survey, market survey also, of similar technologies anywhere in the world. We are talking about engineering projects. So world is our platform, not the India only. So wherever these things are implemented, they will do survey. And based on the survey, again data analytics, again data science, again the people who are repository of these data, maybe they will sell those data to these people. And you will do your pre-feasibility. Whether given the technology you have, expertise you have, experience others have, outcome that has come so far, the success of such engineering project, the pre-feasibility study will be carried out. Okay, clear till here? After pre-feasibility, once the pre-feasibility is established, there'll be a detailed study of feasibility. Now, whenever I'm talking all these, 70% of all these are digitally done. Everything is digitally done, except the field visit, which a robot is not able to apply his or her mind so far. He is able to see, okay, there are some jungles and there are some stones. He is walking down and things like that, but he is not able to see the way human sees, that these stones can be removed, or these trees can be uprooted, or these, while retaining these trees, I can do a rerouting of the project, this kind of things. But otherwise, field study is very important. During field study, they decide whether it is feasible given the land you have, and then feasibility is established. Once the feasibility established, for establishing feasibility, I think CMAs already know there are multiple tools, statistical tools we use that you know, and those who are studying final year, final semesters will know how we establish the feasibilities and the viability of a project, right? After the feasibility, pardon? Have I not? No, it is saying stop sharing. Oh, okay. Stop sharing.
Which is share.
Okay. No, this is the presentation. Okay. I'm so sorry if my presentation was not being shown there. from no those who are online. So the feasibility has been now established. The revenue model will be now seen. The revenue models, again, how the revenue models are seen and how the decision is taken based on the revenue model. Now, for example, ONGC wants to take up a project. Say it wants to go for digging of new wells. What do you think should be the parameters for the revenue model? It will be at what price ONGC will be able to sell the oil, if at all it finds, as against what would be the cost of drilling, and of course extracting and selling. So that is how the feasibility and revenue models, this is simplistic I have given you, and the decision is taken, yes, we are going ahead with the project. All right. Now conceptualization of the entire project now in detail. Only now, again, detailed conceptualization will take place. Because as I told you, these are engineering projects involving huge technology and technological know-how and high risk projects. Lot of technological risks are involved. And technological risk brings financial risks. Financial risk brings economic risk for the country. And don't forget, all this money that are going in for these projects will completely be just ash if a project has to fail. Now, they will go for obtaining the sanction, where whatever may be the protocol of the company, they will go for sanction. Okay, we have seen our revenue model and decision model, and accordingly we have fixed the approximate cost, what we call it ballpark estimate. So even now the estimate is only ballpark at this stage, and say it is 1,000 crore. So let us go for the sanction of 1,000 crore as a ballpark estimate, and accordingly provide budget. Over past next 2 years, we will finish this project. So over next 2 years, I will lay the budget accordingly. This year, I'll be spending only 500 crore, and next year I will be spending 1,500 crore. So the budgeting has to be accordingly done. You cannot keep all the 2,000 rupees budget this year, because financial prudence is very important in how you use your money. Then the unit which have conceived this, they will generate an indent. Usually, the large engineering projects are done centrally. The indenting, the tendering, everything is done centrally. So therefore, they will generate an indent, and then they will send it to the central indenting and tendering committee. Now expression of interest comes into play. Now we have in-house done all the homework, everything we know, where we stand, what are the technologies we are wanting. Now we have published an expression of interest in the market to apply to us, that who all want to do this project and what technology can you bring in. Then there is a series of presentation. We have to give them slots. The applicants will come. We will give them slots. They will go on giving us presentation. There will be question answer session. During this period, the model may undergo change. Because suddenly I see Schlumberger has come out with a new technology. And over last 3 months, they have developed. So therefore, again, we have to readjust this model. What we thought was very easy, again, the MDT will sit together. So then after we have zeroed on the technology, and people we are already now know who are the intending bidders. Because from the expression of interest, you come to know who all may participate in your tender. Not that all of them will participate, and not that those who have not participated in the UI will not participate in the tender. So both is true. Now we will prepare the execution methodology. Execution methodology is a detailed methodology which will, I will come to it later when I talk of complexities. Then we will have material takeoff, we call MTO. As soon as we have the material takeoff, our estimate changes. Because now we know more about the project that I am wanting to do. It's not like building a house or a building a 5-star hotel kind of project. No, it is not like that. Now I know more in detail what kind of engineering technology I'm bringing and what kind of project I'm going to have. So now I know what kind of material, what will be the specification of this material. If suppose there's a steel item, what will be its thickness? There's a pipeline item, what will be its length? Where there'll be piping, how many joints? Nuts, bolts, valves, compressor, what capacity of compression? Transformer, what capacity of a transformer? ETP, effluent treatment plant, what capacity of an ETP? Water injection plant, what capacity of water injection? What is the fallout of the water? Everything we now know. So it is again a huge exercise to be carried out and jotted down in a systematic manner in data spreadsheets. And that time we will make the detailed estimate because we know the materials takeoff now. So this detailed estimate would definitely vary from the ballpark estimate. So say the ballpark estimate is plus minus 30% accuracy. The detailed estimate will be plus minus 15% accuracy.
Madam, detailed estimate will come at which stage of the process?
That's what I said. Once you have expression of interest, you have zeroed down on the technology, you have finalized, now I will have no change in the technology. All the technological presentations I have taken and I have selected this. That is the time because we cannot become architects, Architects, they never finish doing a drawing because they go on improving. Only that architect is successful who knows how to put a full stop.
That is before the tendering process and after the freezing of the project cost. That is the estimate.
No. With the ballpark estimate, you already have a broad estimate.
Yes.
You can float your tender. You can go for your tendering process because your tendering has got right now nothing to do with the estimate because your estimate is not open to the market. To save time, because in engineering projects, what is the outcome? The project will give you certain revenue, right? Whatever project you may take, highway project you take, anything, it will give you revenue. So if I keep delaying the tendering, my revenue model gets delayed. My revenue generation.
If I shall go for the tendering process on the ballpark figure, then do you?
I'm coming down.
I'm learning.
I'm coming
then
down.
How the BOQ will be?
I'm coming down. What you're saying, I said MTO, materials takeoff. That means now I know the materials. Therefore, I know all the services and I can make my estimate. I can call it plus minus 10% or to be safer side, plus minus 15%. Now, this estimate is in a sealed envelope, known to only those who are authorized to approve this. Okay, your tender is floated. Now your bidders see the tender is floated. This slide is only up to the floating. Before the tender is floated, you have to create the bid evaluation criteria. What are the evaluation on which you will be competing? What am I going to see in the bidders, contractors, would-be contractors? Till it is contracted, we call them bidders. They are not contractors. So those criteria, after that, there'll be a price format and there will be something called MPF. Can anybody tell any student what is MPF? It's called milestone payment formula.
Oh, yes. Okay.
So price format and milestone payments formula sounds very mundane, but it is the most complex document that can take you to a lot of litigation. So your clarity, and there some of his expertise may come. We can standardize some of them. Then we can make our need-based change so that the difficulties, that human errors are minimized for everything. So therefore, I'm relating to what he's saying. We have to think digital, digital, digital. While yes, our emotions and common sense cannot be replaced. And here, a lot of common sense is required in engineering project. Lot of common sense. So price format and milestone payment formula you have created, and there are hierarchies who will make it. Finance will vet it. Finance person will vet it. And then it will go for approval of the competent authority. And then we go for publishing of the tender. That
Madam,
is NIT.
One small
Yes.
doubt. Actually, that doubt I have. Hopefully, that other audience also
Yes.
will enjoy this question. What is the difference between the vetting and concurrence?
I will come to that. Concurrence is you agree after due diligence and you take onus for allowing them to spend that money. Vetting is that somebody has proposed to you some figures and you have cross-checked them with the minimum logic to which you agree. You have not gone deep into taking entire onus on yourself. Vetting is lesser onus, concurrence is complete onus.
Which come first? Vetting come first?
No, different things come different levels. Concurrence comes where the sanction process begins. So before sanction, you have to give concurrence. That means you have also gone through that entire due diligence, which that project team, that MD team, multidisciplinary team has gone through already. Suppose they have said, okay, I want now see, I'll tell you, in ETP, that is effluent treatment plant, there's a new technology called tiny bubble technology. They have said, I will go for tiny bubble technology. You can question, tell me how it is going to help you in your revenue model. You need not know the basic in detail. As he said, don't go into the developing era. See the application of it. So if the tiny bubble technology, they are able to prove, because the technologists who come to give you presentation, they show you through in terms of revenue only. So they will show you the revenue, and if you're convinced, then you will agree. If you're not convinced, put your queries. Now I'll come to the queries also. I think we should be more data-driven due diligent partners than query-driven finance officers. I repeat, we should change our role of those Barababu type of style. No query-driven due diligence. It should be data-driven. Bring out the data, show the table. Please bring out the revenue model. No query-driven. Because they should feel, your technical counterpart should feel you are part of them. Because we have to remember, as CA Institute and CMA Institute members, we are only support service providers. So as a support service provider, we are not given the role to police. Auditors police. We don't police. As a support service, we support something that can be for the growth of the company. Therefore, more and more data-driven. And due diligence becomes very easy if it is data-driven. We have to be, while I was talking, I thought I'll mix up complexities. To minimize the complexities, please sit. Let us sit during the technical presentations. Whenever the technologists have come and given the presentation, let us sit there. Let us not sit in our corner chambers and once somebody will put up and we are policing. No. We have to go along with them, go hand in hand, understand the technology, do our needful research. Gone are the days when we can just keep quiet that I have cleared my 10 files today and I have no other job today. No. It is a continuous learning. Continue, and if nothing is there, then learn about all these blockchain and data and everything. But keep updating, keep updating. Now NIT is published, NIT is your tender. Now, from here, everything is digital. Today, all tenders are e-tenders in the e-portals. Okay, and you must have heard about GEM portal, GEM, that is Government of India's e-tender portal, where anybody and everybody who is coming with a offering of a product or a service can register themselves and sell their products and compete in the bid. Okay, there is a myth that it is government portal, so we cannot do any price negotiation with them. No, that is just like another market. You can do price negotiation with those bidders as well. This myth I have broken in many of the PSUs, but that is what it is. Okay, so next stage is you have floated the tender. Now pre-bid conference, post-bid conference, before bidding, after floating of the tender, before they participate, submit their actual bid, actual envelopes, bid e-envelopes, you invite for a conference. Please come, have your clarifications, anything you have doubt about this technology, about this scope of work, you please come and talk to us. So we call them. There are a lot of participants who come. They try and understand how they will fare in this tender, whether they will be eligible at all in this tender, because sometimes even bid evaluation criteria is also not clear to them. There also they come. And so this conference is one of the most important conference to remove complexities in the contracting process. Interestingly, after that they submit their bid. I will come to a little bit later, some of things I'm saying now only. In the pre-bid conference, whatever replies you give them, they are minuted and they are issued to them. So what happens? That is an amendment to the tender, and they will form a part of the tender. So that is a piece pre-bid. Now, after they have submitted the bid, they still have some query because they think we may win the bid. They still want to have certain query. In very complex projects, we do allow post-bid conference also. They cannot change their bid, whatever they have submitted, but they can get more clarity on what they are supposed to do in case they. For some of the bidders, it is also academic interest. He may not actually participate in this conference, in this tender, but it is academic interest for which he comes. Because a bidder, complexity C, why a bidder bids how the way he bids, has different reasons. Sometimes you will feel their bids are very low. Sometimes their bids are very high. Keep thinking. I'll come to the next and tell you why. Then we give pre-bid replies and then we issue amendment to the tender. Now next stage is bid evaluation, because now we have to evaluate whatever they have submitted. In that, we see there are so many stages. First one is technical bid opening. So usually all these large contracts are two-bid system. Their technical bid and the price bid both are submitted on the same day in the e-portal, and only technical bid is opened on the day of technical bid opening, which is a pre-published date. It is not a random date. It is a pre-published date. So you have to also gear up yourself for this thing. After that, we find, okay, they qualify, they seem to qualify, but certain documents they have not provided. They're writing, okay, I have done 50% worth of this project in the last 2 years, but he has not submitted the supporting document to prove that he has done it. Suppose I said, you, for a, say, for a compressor, I say for a 4 lakh capacity compressor, you should have done at least one such compressor in last 3 years. He's written, yeah, I have done, but he has not put the paper. So there is a provision in these big contracts that we can ask them for the deficient document. It is legal, it is allowed, lawfully. So you ask for the first round of clarification. Based on the first round of clarification, he has given the document. Now he has given me the document, but you have not given the signed document. First round, you forgot to give the audited balance sheet. So when I asked for the first round of clarification, you have given me the audited balance sheet, but you've forgotten to give the signed audited balance sheet. So based on the first round, we may have a second round of clarification. In PSUs, in government setups, usually, even in private, bigger, large private like Reliance and all, we do not allow more than 2 rounds of clarifications. If you're not able to submit documents in 2 rounds also, that means you are not worth participating in my tender. That means you are not a serious bidder. So seriousness of bidding is very important for all these organizations, because it is like, Gaudi may be wanting to give her little 5-year-old child to a school. She does not know, for the whole day the child is in the custody of the school. So whatever the school does to the child suffers that. Therefore, Gaudi is going to select the best of best schools who's responsible to keep a child. Similarly, these engineering projects are like our babies. We have to give them in responsible hands of responsible bidders. So after that, now they will say, okay, I will give you the certified audited balance sheet, but please extend my time by 10 days. So that is another complexity will come. How much, how long can you give? Looking into the complexity of the document that is deficient, you will decide it may range from 7 days to 15 days. Now, techno-commercial evaluation. Now you have got all documents, everything, you evaluate them based on exactly what you had published in the tender and nothing else. This is one way of avoiding all litigation. Do not deviate from what you had written in the tender, how you're going to evaluate their capabilities. Do not deviate and evaluate them. After that, we call TACA bidders. What is TACA bidders? Technically accepted and commercially accepted bidders. He is technically accepted as well as commercially accepted. Only price bids of those TACA bidders will be opened. Okay. Now this entire process that I'm telling you, up to price bid opening and even future, these all are not being done by one single gentleman or single person. Who does it? It is called tender committee. It is another multidisciplinary committee where finance is a very important part and parcel member. Here, finance plays a huge role right from pre-bid conference, because there can be certain commercial queries also of these bidders, like change in law, like GST. So therefore, this committee, they do their due diligence and they recommend that now we have this TACA bidders. This
Madam,
say
some questions has already started from all over India.
Yes. I will let me finish. It will be interesting for them. So say 5 bidders have become TACA. So these 5 bidders, we recommend to open their price bid. So there will be a hierarchy who is above who is called competent authority. He or she will approve, and after that, their price bid will be PBO. Price bid will be open. Price bid also will be open on a predetermined, pre-announced date. This, if you can say, this is also complexity. That means all the information, all the activities you have to do in time to adhere to this timeline. So you have to be on your toes. After that, price bid evaluation, there will be comparative statements. CS will be there. Again, the CS will be prepared by your tendering department. Some places they are called Materials Management Department. Sometimes they are called Commercial Department. And the CS will be vetted by, not concurred, vetted by Finance. Okay. This CS, while I speak, sounds very easy. It is not. Why it is not? What kind of complexities? These large engineering projects have 2 components. One is creation of the facility. Second is maintenance and running of the facility. So creation of the facility for finance people, it is capex. Operation and maintenance is opex. So both the evaluation techniques are different for this, where finance plays a very good role in the bid evaluation. The present value and all that we consider there. Okay. So after the bid evaluation, if we find the lowest bid, now where we compare, how we will know whether the bid is high or not, with which?
Yes.
With the estimate that you had made, sealed envelope estimate, which is so far in the sealed envelope. So then the committee opens the envelope, sees what is the estimate. Estimate is 100 rupees. He is quoted 130 rupees. It's a 30% higher, so does not seem to be reasonable. Now again, the committee will carry out a due diligence and put it up to the competent authority that according to us, we should go for a price negotiation. Suppose it is 60%, 160 rupees. 100 rupees is the estimate and 160 rupees. Then a committee may say, we do not think there will be any yield after negotiation. We may go for retendering. Retendering? 20? The entire process once again to be done. To avoid, what we should do? We should prepare a market-driven estimate, realistic estimate, so that we don't have to go for retendering and the project time is saved and the revenues can start flowing to that extent earlier. So price bid evaluation, price negotiation, and then of course after negotiation, we will see whether he has come down to a reasonable level. Now reasonability establishment is another big complexity of the committee. Rate reasonability establishment. No robot can carry out this. No data analytics can carry out this. No blockchain technology can carry out this. Only common sense, application of mind.
And experience.
We have written in our SOP the words in quote unquote application of mind of the committee members. So there you are asking in the morning meeting, do I have some power? Can I not have some power to do this crisis management? Application of mind. If with your application of mind, you're able to write in black and white as to why you're taking the decision and own up by that decision, then you are rightfully having the power.
Madam, only one point I just have to add.
Right.
In the same meeting where we are talking about this application of mind, just by the side of the particular room, there was one class was going on by some of the High Court judges on arbitration.
Okay. They were applying their minds better. Okay.
And each and every litigation address the arbitration problems.
Right. So I am just now giving you only in a nutshell this entire process. There are a lot of complexities. There are a lot of complexities in each stage, but I'm giving you in a nutshell. Now, next stage is contract signing to execution stage. Now, contract and contract signing. Contract signing is important, but contract begins before signing. How? When does it begin? The moment I issue him the letter of intent and he accepts the letter of intent, it is part and parcel of the contract signing. So the moment I selected, this is the lowest bidder, we have carried out the price negotiation. He's now only 1% higher or something like that. He's not going to come down anymore. So we feel it is reasonable. We want to award him. Then immediately after approval of competent authority, we will issue him something called NOA. Okay, notice of award. And we will wait for him to accept that NOA. The moment he accepts the NOA, contract begins.
NOA is full form?
Notice of award. But what we would do after, say, 10 days, 15 days, 7 days, depending on where the contractor is, he may be in Canada, he may be in US, he may be in Kota, he may be in wherever, Chennai, with Sir city. So then he can come we will do the formal ceremonial contract signing, and that will be a big document where both the parties will sign only by authorized signatories, another complexity. So during this entire process that I have elaborated, finance member as a MDT committee member will every time keep checking any document given by authorized signatory or not. Document given, but whether it is by authorized signatory or not, you have to ensure. Therefore, getting the authorized signatory is another process. Those are, as I said, there is lot of steps there. So after contract signing, after NOA, the contract begins, and the last page of the contract is the NOA. And what does the contract document include? Anybody? Any bright mind? What does my contract document comprise of? Contract is an agreement only. But what does it?
Escalations, penalties for delay.
What my contract, those are the content of the contract document. I am saying, what does the contract document comprise of? My tender document. My tender document is my contract document. Because telling you about the tender only, I had invited you. Yes. I adhered to all the conditions. I selected as per the conditions. Now those conditions are binding on the successful bidder. So accordingly, what should also form the part of the contract are the pre-bid replies, post-bid replies. Okay, these are all contract documents. Every communication done so far will be contract. Now after that, we'll have a kick-off meeting. We'll have some tea, coffee, samosa, and the contractor is very happy. That is the first day. First day, the contractor and his team and the contractee and his team come face to face. Till then, only cyber. All e-documentation. He doesn't have to come and show his face only to us. So gone are the days where you meet them. You don't meet them. You don't meet your bidders. Sometimes you also doubt whether this company exists, anybody is there or not. That time we try to have an online conference with him. So these
site visit is also not allowed.
Pardon?
Site visit is also not allowed.
No, site visit is allowed, but we are not there, no. He is told. Site is somewhere in near Kota. It's a village near his house. That is the site. So we tell from this date to this date, you are allowed to go and site visit. Our people will enable you there.
Today, after Google Maps and all, this is again
not required. Survey, soil survey, everything there. So after the kickoff meeting, during kickoff meeting, they give us their entire engineering critical path, their execution methodology. Who will be the key people? Who will be the contact persons? Who will be the FPRs, first person responsible? All that is given from both the teams. So that day, it's a big day. That day has to be most day of clarity. And after that, only danda by the contractee. That day is the only lalo chappu. That day is the lalo chappu. After that, the danda. Okay, kick off. Then they have to give PBG. What is PBG? Any student? Performance bank guarantee. So there is a time period within which he has to provide the performance bank guarantee. Then he has to give the insurance papers. Then very important for all the finance people, I will say, please insist on workmen compensation policy first. Do not allow them to put their foot on the ground without that policy in hand. There, all our finance team is all the time behind them. Our finance team is known for bad behavior so far as this policy is concerned. Workmen compensation.
Madam, one point I just like to highlight.
Yeah.
I do not know whether you will agree with me or not. In any bank guarantee, as per the Indian Banking Association's directives, one particular clause is to be added. That is the notwithstanding clauses.
Correct.
But in so many PSUs, in so many government agencies, I have noticed that they do not put these notwithstanding clauses, and for which the person who is arranging the bank guarantee from their own respective bank, they find the problem to get the bank guarantees vetted from their respective bankers.
Resolution is give your own format of bank guarantee and let them adhere to it. Whatever you want, put it. We have everything in ONGC, everything as a format, everything, and we keep revising these formats. As per
Some of the people are telling that no. What has been given in the tender document, that
tender document only. We give all the
BG
formats
format
there.
has to be followed. The problem is this: they do not put this notwithstanding clauses, but the Indian Banking Association has put up this.
See,
the bank.
the clause of
If you
subrogation,
do not use
the clause of subrogation, that subrogation clause is most important. If the subrogation clause is there, you are safe from all sides. By virtue of many Supreme Court verdicts also. The subrogation clause is very important.
What is that subrogation clause?
That you'll leave the contractee indemnified in under any circumstances. Okay. Notwithstanding,
It's a very simple
in
clause.
today's date is outdated.
I know.
It is outdated. Whether you write notwithstanding or withstanding, doesn't matter. What you want to say is what you want to say. Notwithstanding that you gave the medical certificate, you are discollegiated. Hey, your rule says you're discollegiated. Why do you have to write notwithstanding you gave the medical certificate?
Madam, you are now right now you are speaking from the ONG's perspective.
No, I spoke in the institute perspective.
No, the problem is this madam, if he cannot arrange this bank guarantee from the bank, then his 100% margin will be blocked by their bankers. Then his working capital problem will start. But the ONGC also has to understand this problem.
No. You're vulcanizing the very small issue. Performance bank guarantee is a very, very simple bank guarantee. The banks are regularly issuing. We are having no problem in getting the performance bank guarantee. It's a very, very simple bank guarantee. Very simple. You don't do performance, I invoke that. Otherwise, there is no purpose of that bank guarantee. You have to go on extending till you complete the project. It is not that. And no working capital, nothing is coming into jeopardy. If you have to, because everything is, that is what I said, the complexity. The more you are transparent in your tender document, less is your complexity. You told in your tender document that within 15 days you have to give the 10% performance bank guarantee. So where is the complexity? You already know before arranging the bid. You went to the bank and you already spoke, I am participating in the bid. If I may be successful, you may have to give me this. You are already arranging the margins and everything. No complexity. We have not faced any complexity so far. Where I have faced complexity, that I will tell in the complexity, in bank guarantee. Okay?
One more change, that once PPG is submitted to the
Contracting.
and work is completed.
Not only PSU, I'm talking about any contracting. Yeah.
So work is being completed, payment will be issued by the parties. So why again that PPG needs to be brought back from PSU or any party needs to be again given to bank in order to whatever limit has been moved against that PPG. Can we remove this step because it is duplication of work? Again, we have to ask PSUs to give back the PPG. Then we have to send my person to the bank.
There is something called closure of project. Very important. You start a course called CMA. You give it a closure, right? It is a part of closure of the project. It is not as simple.
Payment is received, complete payment is received, complete project is being closed.
Still, do you want to keep your bank guarantee with the contractee?
No.
Then why don't you take it back?
But it has to be like that once.
You don't have to come. You don't have to come to their office to take it back. Then it can be couriered. It can be couriered. It is not. It is not. It is not. It is not. Suppose somebody somehow or the other, sort of misuses that bank guarantee. It is your bank guarantee. You have completed the work. You have taken payment. You have gone, and you do not exist now, so far as this project is concerned. But your bank guarantee is still sitting with me. Why should it sit with me?
Something that it will become
No, it is.
something like that after this.
There is a period. Now there is a period, but till
After that period, it becomes void.
after that period it becomes void. But till that period it is still there. Suppose I keep the things open. In some pretext or the other, I tell even though he has completed this, he has not completed this punch point. So I am going and invoking his bank guarantee. Suppose I have been transferred and he has come. He is a very strict person. He thinks your performance is not good. I think it is good because robot is not judging you.
But there will be something now.
Human beings are judging you.
100% payment from you means you will not grant me the 100% payment unless and until
Why PSU? Why the pre-audit person also can make a mistake? Payment person also. Auditor has come. Auditor has pointed out this payment is gone as a. There are a lot of complexities. It's difficult to explain in a small span like this. There are a lot of complexities. There are a project closure is become a big issue. You go to all PSUs, even why you go to, he will say Reliance and all others. Project closure does not happen. Project completion happens. Project closure doesn't happen. Because after your past, nobody is interested what you did with your books. But suppose you have to vacate the house, only that day the books will be sold. Otherwise, your past, you're doing job, your books are piled up in an almirah. There's something like that. Okay, so PVG, then you give insurance. Then what does the contractor do? Now he is from bidder. The successful bidder is now being called contractor. Now the contracting process completely. And so what he gives the engineering designs and PNIDs. And nowadays we are called, all designs are done in smart softwares. We call them smart PNIDs. Okay, smart PNIDs give you all loopholes. They identify immediately. So the risk is less. After that, the projects are reviewed weekly, monitored, monthly monitored, quarterly monitored, and then long lead items are identified. Suppose there's a compressor driven project, everything work is over, but the compressor of over 2 years has not come. So long lead item. Now, finance person cannot sit in oblivion. Oh, it is not my job. It is only the procurement job, only the contractor's job, only my engineering counterpart's job. No. Because in order to know what payment you are going to release, how much, whether he has a working capital need for the same or not, you have to be really updated on these. Okay. So project reviews and planning package, he will give how he is going to plan. Then CPM, critical path method. Every time okay. Now this is interesting. Every review meeting, every week or every 1 month, the critical path changes. So when the method goes for a 6, so all the bookish knowledge of critical path method is only for academic interest today. They all change in large projects. Then there is TPI. TPI is third party inspection. Whatever he does, a third party is engaged so that an independent inspection is done, not only by the contractee, because the contractee can be sometimes in hand in glove with the contractor for receiving payment. But if there is an independent third party who is certifying what work is done, that is done. Then there are milestone certificates. Milestone certificate, milestone is, I told you, milestone payment formula is there. According to the formula, as and when he achieves the milestones, payments are done. Suppose his foundation drawing is a milestone. He is submitted, he's good. Suppose procurement is a milestone. He has procured the materials, brought it to your site, you give him the milestone payment. So all milestone payments are certified by the respective engineer in charge, third party, and then payments are released. And GST payment, invoice submission. Now invoice submission, for your information, are all online. In ONGC, no vendor has to even come to submit his invoice. It's called a WIMS portal, WIMS. Everything is online. He knows what are the queries online. He knows if the invoice is not passed online. He knows with which person the invoice is pending. That is also online. Everybody has to put their IDs whenever I touch that invoice. And if the invoice has not been touched for so long, it triggers because we have a policy of payment within 21 days, better than Reliance. Reliance pays in 30 days. We as PSUs, we pay in 21 days. Even to MSMEs, Government of India allows them 45 days, but ONGC pays them in 21 days. Okay? So the invoice payment itself is absolutely data-driven. Data analytics, everything. Therefore, that all the data again flows to create the contractors database, the contracts database. And then work from that database, again the next project's experience is judged. Now the post-contract issues and closure and handover. You have contracted, you have signed the contract. Time extension can be one big issue. I could not complete, give me time extension. There are different. Liquidated damages, one of the most glaring items. Liquidated damages is something as predetermined damage. If he is not able to complete in time, then you levy that much of percentage of damage on him. Force majeure, biggest example is COVID. COVID time, force majeure was there, and there were two policies by Government of India. They said, please give them 3 months extension without asking any question. So all engineering projects, large projects, bridge projects, road projects, any supply projects, everything was given a 3 months extension without asking any question. Then the second notification was that give them another 3 months extension, but with supporting documents. Suppose my supply manager is hospitalized, these are his hospital bill. My supplier main person engineer is hospitalized, given those medical. And suppose there is a burn declared, all that documents, you document based 3 months. So 6 months extension we had given for the COVID. Then there are other complexities after COVID, after force majeure. Okay, reduce the performance bank guarantee percentage. So from 10%, they said, please make it 3%. Again, there was a job. Everybody is applying. Please give me back my 7%. Again, there's a work for the whole finance team, every team. Again, the tender committee sitting. Every contractor is applying for a reduction of the performance bank guarantee, all that. So force majeure brought its own challenges. Then interest-bearing advance. These clauses are also there in the tender, in the contract. So releasing the advances are against bank guarantees, not direct. They are secured advances. So if the contractor, he finds it difficult to get a loan from bank, he can quickly come to the ONGC or Reliance or Tata, whoever it is, and then he can take the advance because it is provided in the contract. Then there will be cost overrun. Usually, all the large projects, including hospitals, these engineering projects, railways, there will be no cost overrun clause in the contract. Where there can be cost overrun, in 2020, 2021, the steel industry saw a huge volatility of prices, and many of the contracts gave a clause that as per the index, we will increase, and as per the index, we will decrease. So there could be some cost overrun. Otherwise, there's no scope of cost overrun in this project. There can be time overrun, but no cost overrun. So now change orders. What is change order? I told him to make this hall. Suddenly it came to my mind that I should have a washroom nearby. I did not give him in his scope. But since he is only making this whole thing, I will tell him, you only do this washroom. That is change order. Handling change order is another issue. How? Complexity. These rates are not given in your contract. Washroom rates are not there. How will you decide? That is another complexity. Then suppose you told him, one washroom and one conference hall is your scope. Now you told him 2 washrooms. One gents, one ladies. Earlier I thought it will be a common. Now you make another gents washroom. Ladies, we'll convert this into ladies. So now what do you call it? It was not in his scope. What do you call it? Is it a change order? It is a change order, but known by name, variation in quantity. Because you have one toilet in the scope and there are 2 toilets to be made. So it is a variation in quantity and not strictly a change order. Both are to be treated differently. In variation in quantity, treatment is very easy because rates are available in the contract. In change order, rates are not available in the contract. These are the complexities you'll have to deal with. And finance person, mind you, is part and parcel of this entire decision process.
What about variation in design?
Variation in design is change in scope. Change in scope.
No, but not from PSU side. From the MSME side, those who are taking the orders.
Contractors.
From the contractors.
Contractors cannot vary the designs. They are already approved. Beginning itself.
Not setting because of some engineering logics or something like that. Or any
No scope, smart PNID. PNIDs are made already, smart PNIDs. These are approved, only then implemented. That is another process. 2 to 3 months we allow them to make all these designs. And then those designs are approved by the contractee. Only after approval, that means both the parties agree that these are workable. Then only implemented.
1% charges or
No.
0.5% charges?
No chance. No, not possible. Not possible. So I will quickly wrap up now. I'll not take much questions because this, as I said, is an extremely vast topic. Now, change orders is there, variation quantity, I told you. Part completion certificate, issue of part completion certificate. When do you issue part completion certificate? When a part is complete and can be put to use. That part can be put to use out of the entire project, then you give a part completion certificate. And once all the parts are complete, then you give the full completion certificate. After that, you release their PVG. Then, of course, interest and penalties, if any, as per the contract, it will be charged on them. Punch point liquidation. What is punch point? Suppose the door has to be made. He has made the door. You have issued the completion certificate, but his handle is pending. That handle in the door is pending. That is punch point. That means very little bit to be finished, for which I cannot keep the project undeclared as complete. I can make use of this hall even without that handle. So I will put it to use and I will call it complete. But then punch point itself is a complex part of complexity. Sometimes major items where the contractor is failing and again. 90% work is done, 10% is failing again and again. We conveniently shift it to the punch point list and issue them a completion certificate. These things, these complexities are also there. Okay, project closure and handover. Of course, after the entire punch points are completed, all payments are reconciled, their payments are released, PBGs are released, liquidated damages is finalized, liquidated damages are levied or waived off, whatever as per the delay analysis, project is completed and handed over to the indenter who had sent you an indent. Please do this tender for me. So indenter, okay. Now complexities come in these stages. You know already half of that. Scope of work clarity, technical bid package, discipline-wide technical bid package. Electrical has understood, instrumentation has not understood. PNIDs, piping, instrumentation, diagram, flow diagram, AutoCAD depiction in AutoCAD, smart PNIDs where flow diagrams are there. For example, bulbs are there, there's technical specifications are there. So suppose instead of 4-inch, somebody just put in 3-inch, smart PNID will immediately tell you, no, you have not gone as per norms. Otherwise, it would have been a human error, and as you said, there could have been some disaster. But in smart PNIDs, everything is digital. Everything is done through a software. Inconsistencies are identified in the software. Attributes are fed beforehand. So while feeding the attribute, you already know your success stories. So from the success stories, you feed the attributes. Now a new project is made based on that success story. That smart PNID software tells you, in that project you did 4-inch, here why are you taking 3-inch pipe thickness? You know, these things. Then there are project management tools. Again, project management is done through digital. Project management, project monitoring is done through the digital. There's a software called Primavera, which all the contractors use. And some of the PSUs, they are using this MS project. So the Primavera software, which the project contractors use, they convert those reports into this MS project and they map into our system. So we are using Primavera and Project MS both, but since ministry, being PSU, ministry is monitoring it in, imagine ministry is also monitoring in digitally. Ministry is not taking any hardcore report today. They are taking everything digital. They are, while the project monitoring happens, they are opening dashboard in their system where my project details are all fed, which even as a finance person, you should be able to learn, you should learn to read them so that you can take a data driven this thing. And then design clarity may not be there. There may be price format clarity may not be there. Your price format may have a defect in designing. So wrong places they may have put their figures. So it will have a complexity. Your tax structure clarity is very important. According to one contractor, he says for my ETP it is 12% tax GST, but another contractor is saying it is 18% GST. How do you evaluate? So tax structure, then clarity in bid evaluation criteria, complex process of bid submission itself. It's a very huge, they have to submit about 5,000 documents, all digitally. That itself also has some, complexity. Bid matrix parity, where there is a bid matrix where they say, I comply, I comply, I comply, I comply. When I open the bid, they don't comply, they don't comply, they don't comply, they don't comply. Now robot cannot decide this. So we are all alive. Our profession is alive. Okay. Then bid evaluation technique, bid and price bid. Then government policy implementation. Every time you float a tender, you will always find government has come with some new policy, which has to be made part of your tender document. Like MSME policy, like PPLC policy, like steel policy. There are so many policies. Okay. Those you have to be all the time updated, so that you can make it part of. Otherwise, what? There'll be a litigation, there'll be some MSME taking you to the court. So since it is very vast subject, as I said, in the award process, the complexities, there can be a representation of a bidder. Yeah, I was not considered wrongfully. So your tender is gone, he is bringing a stay order. So that is a complexity. So you should be very careful while designing all your documents. There is no ambiguities there. Price negotiation, versus estimates, market trend, price index, scope of work, all these things have to be paired while seeing the price negotiation. Then rate reasonability establishment, as I said, it is application of mind. Then vendor code creation, bank detail updation, then retendering process. Vendor code updation has multiple difficulties. Single vendor has 10 bank accounts. Money may go to wrong bank account. Same name, multiple. So many this thing. Execution process has PNID complexities. Then smart PNID understanding by the bidder. Bidder is not updated so much. That also. Then Primavera versus MS project, that kind of thing. So, and other execution process bottlenecks are execution bottlenecks themselves. Maybe land has not been given to them. The land that they require, I have not acquired the right of use. So ROU issues are there, land issues are there, environmental clearance issues are there. There are statutory clearance issues are there. So a lot of complexities in these kind of projects. And post-contract, of course, by now I have explained everything. Foreign cross-border, Ukraine war was there. We had a Canadian party. The Canada government was saying that we cannot transfer any money to India. So he is not able to give me the PBG. He was successful bidder. How we had to resolve it? Statutory permission problem, time overrun, time extension, cost escalation, execution delays and liquidated damage, force measure I told you, litigations. The moment the smallest thing happens, if you don't handle the contractor well, if you really become the babu, he goes to the court. It's better to sit across the table and resolve the litigation. There can be in between during the project a merger of two companies. Your contract becomes different. Then again, all documents you have to again resynchronize. So merger and all, change in bank detail is a big issue. Very important for finance professional. Wherever there is a change in bank detail, you have to put a question. Why are you changing your bank detail? It should not have a ulterior motive. RBI guideline. Change in bank detail, change in contact details, updation, GST registration, GST payment, TDS certificate, on time we should give them, payment intimations, multiple vendor codes, multiple bank details, final invoice and no demand certificate to be received. No demand certificate. He thinks, I may remember tomorrow something to take from ONGC. I'll not give the no demand certificate. Such things also happen. So I will skip these pages because by now you have understood. I have told that I don't know, it is not showing the role and benefits of contract analytics for the finance professionals. You already have understood. He has also explained to you, so I will not explain this much. So data is the business today, as Deloitte professional says. Today's business is data business, and data can do everything, barring little things which I have told that only human beings can do. But as a finance professionals, we cannot lag behind in understanding the technology and understanding the needs for the technological advancement. And we cannot say, no, my model is only more cost, so I'm not going to give a concurrence. No. We have to do our due diligence in the right perspective, and it should be data-driven due diligence. We should sit in all the technical meetings so that we understand what is upcoming, what is the industry norm, etc. And these are the contract analytics benefits where you have to learn. Maybe people who are into this field in broad, they know data mining, financial analysis, understanding business models, financial forecasting, creating financial models, risk management, big data analysis, advanced. All this he has explained much better than me. So if we can update our skills into some of these, not all of these, some of these, it'll be of help to us. And concluding remarks are that critical thinking and problem solving skills have to be developed for all the professionals. Critical thinking and problem solving skills. The critical thinking part in a mundane AI can do, but with application of real mind, AI cannot do. Artificial mind he can do, but real mind he cannot do. Problem solving skills, I would rather say problem solving attitude. Skills, data analytics can give you. All softwares can give you. In fact, even your Excel also gives to an extent small skills. But problem solving attitude, we have to grow ourselves. And once we have that attitude, every problem comes with a solution told by itself. To avoid this, what not to do is the question to be asked. And I think CMAs are best at doing so. So big cheers for all the CMAs. Thank you. Thank you for your patience. I told you this is a very long topic, and each part is it's unique in its own way.
This.
Arindam, please felicitate Madam.
Arindam, just wait. Just one book. Yeah.
This is a book on digital transformation and our forensic audit study material.
Forensic audit published by the Board of Advanced Studies and Research, Institute of Post Accounting.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you very much. So be in my library in office.
Sure. Just one thing for Dr. Shura. No, sir. This is the Institute publications. And this is the only way which we can showcase our performance.
Actually, I have seen this book during the lunch hour, and
Yes.
The case study and the compilation is outstanding.
Fantastic.
Thank you very much. Yes, madam, you were talking about some of the points which is very much catchy. That is like the cost overrun, time overrun. These are the very romantic word which I like very much, because I was associated with such a big project of some around 8,500 crores project where the debt equity ratio was around 80-20. And the peculiarity is this, that when the total thermal power project is ready for evacuating power, at that time the PGCL line was not ready.
Yes.
So
you took it to punch point.
Take it to the punch point. The problem is this, but the punch point is fine, but the romantic matter is something else. The matter is this, madam was talking about the put to use. That is the very, very catchy word in the index.
Yes.
That put to use, unless and until it is put to use, you cannot capitalize it.
Absolutely.
But once you are capitalizing it, it means the interest during construction, that is the IDC part of the project cost, has to be capitalized at that time. But after the capitalization, the interest cost will not be treated as the IDC. It will start charging to the profit and loss account. It means if you are not evacuating the power, if the PGCL line is not there, if you cannot evacuate the power, if you cannot capitalize it again, that means slowly and steadily your total entire project will go to a particular case which is called NPA, non-performing assets. And then the questions of the Reserve Bank of India guidelines will come, and so many other issues will come, which is also a point where you can discuss once you are wanted to connect the dot in between the complexities of the different what you have decided, what you have discussed right now, and the project finance. It's a wonderful subject. Thank you very much that you have touched upon. These are the very important issues. And thank you very much. And I am very grateful to you, ma'am, that you have come all the way from Delhi and just presented this very complex subject in a very lucid manner for the benefit of our members and students. Thank you very much. Now, I will take another 10 to 15 minutes break, because now some of the breaks are required. Because after that, we are going to listen from one of the leading cost auditors in India, that is CMS Sukrut Mehta, about the application of data analytics in cost audit. According to my opinion, this is the burning topics right now, because with the cost accountant, always we always discuss, think, dream, breathe about the cost audit. But now, once we start thinking that how we are mixing this data analytics with cost audit, how it can be mixed, how it can be analyzed, how it can be done, that we will listen from Sukrut. Just we are taking another 10 to 15 minutes break. After that, I will invite Sukrut Mehta to make this presentation. Thank you. And I am also requesting my online friends who are also joined us in this session. I will also request them to just kindly join us, be with us, and we are bringing Sukrut after 10 to 15 minutes. Thank you. Please kindly join us in this particular room for some small